Hi, this is Brian Savard. I'm the assistant AD for communications at Plattsburgh State. I'm here with Plattsburgh State head baseball coach Chris Story. We're going over a bunch of moments in the Cardinal highlight series that highlight a lot of the great moments in Cardinal athletics throughout the course of the past decade. And Coach Story was the head coach for a rather memorable one in 2012 on March 31st, 2012 to be exact, when the Cardinals beat Cortland, who went on to win the SUNYAC title and finish fourth at the College World Series that year, the program's first ever road win at Cortland. So Coach, glad you could join me today. Walk me through, everything, that went on with that game.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me first and foremost, and bringing back some great memories. 2012, it seems like yesterday in some senses, but it seems like forever ago in other senses. I mean, I remember the game vividly. I remember some aspects of that game. Ironically, one of the funny things that I remember is my son was the bat boy with us that day. He was 8 years old, and I think he was more excited than anybody. My wife was at the game, and she cried at the end of it because we won. It was just a great day, and some memorable things happened in that game. Just starting at the beginning of the day, it was just, it was a normal spring day in central New York, which means it was overcast and kind of goofy looking outside, clouds. There was no on-field BP. It was just one of those normal SUNYAC days.
So obviously the fifth inning was the big inning in that game. It was scoreless through four, and you guys put two on the board in the fifth. Sort of walk through that inning, because obviously a lot of it continued and went on due to Adornetto not being able to get a flip to second in time to get the force at second. Sort of walk through that fifth, which was obviously the difference in the game.
Sure. So let me walk through the bottom of the fourth. I looked back at it too this morning when you brought it up to me, and the bottom of the fourth, Cortland had second and third and one out, and they had their cleanup hitter. Max Rosing was up, and Max was a beast for Cortland for a couple of years. And Tyler Green went through his bag of tricks, and he was able to strike him out in a situation where, we had infield in with their cleanup hitter. So a single is going to score 2 runs for them. And Tyler was able to battle with Max and strike him out. And then the next batter was Rinaldi, and we were able to get a ground ball to shortstop, which was Chris Cochon, who had been forced to play shortstop for us that season due to some injuries and some player issues earlier in the year. And Chris did a great job for us, and he was probably the most sure-handed infielder we had at the time. And it was just a matter of making the play and throwing it. And in a big pressure situation, he made the play to keep that game 0-0. And then for us in the top of the fifth, that's just one of those things that's, if they score the run in a 7-inning game, all of a sudden it's like, oh man, we got to battle, and we haven't done anything offensively. Whereas Tyler had just kept fighting them off and battling, and we were making the plays. And then for us in the top of the fifth, you get Brian Latula, left-handed hitter, to just kind of fight off a fastball and hit a single down the left field line. Most teams, it's probably a double, but playing against Cortland, it's going to be a single because their outfielder is going to chase it down and hold you. And then for some reason or another, Coach Dory didn't bunt, and Casey Brighton probably hit a ground ball double play most of the times. But Adornetto makes a stop, but he's not able to get the flip out. And I think it was maybe Matt June at second. I'm not sure on that though, but I know John was definitely the shortstop, and made a nice diving play up the middle, and couldn't get the force at second. So we lucked out there. And then I know for a fact that I put Matt Minier up there to bunt, and I think Matt failed on the first bunt, and I was like, screw it. Let's just take our chances that we won't hit into a double play. And Matt hit, it is in the box score as a single to right field. It is in his memory as probably a line drive to right field. And I'm telling you that he hit a little dinker that the second baseman was creeping towards second as the pitch was coming, and it just skimmed off the edge of that infield dirt and just kind of floated out into right field, like in no man's land, where the second baseman couldn't get it in time. and the right fielder wasn't going to be able to run all the way there and get it. So we were able to score Brian. I was sending Brian Latulip regardless. I mean, I was taking my chances there. I was not going bases loaded and have us screw it up somehow or hit into a double play. I've been in too many of those situations with Cortland where you load the bases with no outs and you don't get a run because you get a 1-2-3 or a strikeout and a double play. But Matt hit that ball, he fought it off, and we sent Brian Latulip and we're able to get Bright into third. And then Patrick Shaughnessy followed with a sac fly to center. So we were going to get the second run. And then Tyler didn't, I don't think there was, I didn't actually write down the next couple innings, but I know in the 6th inning, I think was 1-2-3. I know in the 7th inning, they definitely got somebody on base. And then you're always worried about a fly ball to left, which turns into a home run at Cortland because it says 310 down the line, but I've walked it off and I know it's about 299. And, too many times we've been burned there with a fly ball to left. That's a home run, just like Bucky did at Fenway, fly ball to left.
Yeah. I mean, how nerve wracking is it with Cortland in the 7th? They got one out and Rinaldi, PJ Rinaldi hit a single to right. I mean, what are you thinking at that time? They bring in a pinch runner to get some speed out there, with a 2-0 lead against Cortland.
What I'm thinking at that time is, oh man, here we go again. I mean, it's happened too many times. I've had too many walk-off losses at Cortland. I've had too many come from behind games where Cortland comes back and beats you, and they're just so good. I mean, they might not get enough credit as to how good they really are. And everybody knows how good they are. I mean, it's an awesome program. They do the things the right way. But that group of guys that we had, 2012, that was a pretty good group of kids. Tyler Green was our guy. And to have him fight, I mean, the best thing that Tyler did is he didn't walk anybody. If you make them have to hit you and to score runs, then you're going to have a much better chance. And then, we were able to somehow scrounge 2 runs there. It's an awesome memory. It brings back so many good memories for us. I know Tyler got to pick where we ate on the way home, and he picked Little Caesars for some reason. I mean, he just wanted the Little Caesars pizza. Just in the back of Cortland there in the little shopping strip, he wanted Little Caesars and let's go home. I think they had other plans when they got home.
I'm sure. How does a win like that set up the rest of your season, which by all accounts went pretty well?
That wasn't a bad season. That actually put us, I think, like 5-3. We were actually ahead of Cortland after that game. And we ended up making the SUNYAC playoffs that year, and we ended up having to face Cortland in the playoffs. And Tyler was going to pitch against them again, and just a freak thing happened. There was 2 other pitchers doing long toss. And one of the pitchers threw it over his partner's head and it hit Tyler in the head. And Tyler had to sit out the game with a concussion. I remember I was at home plate talking to Joe Brown and doing the pregame meeting. And Jason Pachter came up to me and said, "Hey, we got to make a change." I said, "What are you talking about?" And he came to me and said, "Tyler's out, hit in the head, got a concussion." So we had to switch our starting pitcher really quick, and it didn't go quite as well for us. I don't remember the score. It wasn't a terrible game, but I know it was just kind of a momentum thing. Tyler had just beaten him. He had a pretty good game plan as to what we were going to try to do again to attack him, and it didn't work out our way.
Oh man. Well, I appreciate you, taking a walk down memory lane with me. Obviously that is a really special memory for you, and definitely a signature win for the program over a team that it's not like Cortland had a down year that year. They did what they usually do and make it to the College World Series, but obviously a great day in Cardinal country.
Yeah, for sure. It's great memories. I appreciate you asking me to hop on here, and I look forward to seeing all the other highlights we have. We've got some great highlights here in Cardinal country.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it.